Hello everybody, is Spawns here, and we are back for a Hearthstone card review. I know I kind of cut myself off last time doing Hearthstone card reviews, but I'm back. We're here with the League of Explorers. It was just announced this past weekend, coming out the 12th of November, this Thursday. I don't know if this video will be released by then, I hope it will be. But today we are going to go over all the neutral common cards. So, to kick it off, let's start out with the Anubisith Sentinel. Okay. It's a 5-mana 4/4, Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +3/+3. Stats-wise, it's really good. You know, it's 5 mana 7/7, what are you going to do? Unfortunately, it can be played around. You just remove all the minions on the board and then take it out, and it's very hard to kill into it. It also dies to a very popular 4-drop, the Piloted Shredder, which is unfortunate. But this card definitely is pretty powerful. It will most likely see some play in Arena, because that's what's important, is getting those stats in. But this is an okay card. For new players, it's definitely something that you might want to throw in your deck if you don't have any good 5-drops. There are definitely other 5-drops I think that are better. But if you're going with something aggro, I think this is okay. So, and also, you could probably get this off with some Death Rattle bonuses. You might be able to throw this into a Feign Death deck, or make your Reincarnate with Shamans, so that you can get it to go off on your own. Kind of, maybe you can hit it into something, or no, Reincarnate it, and then something gets +3/+3, and then they have to deal with all that stuff. This is a good card. It'll see some play in Arena. I don't think it's going to make it all the way to Constructed, just because there are so many cards that contest it, and it's hard to fit cards into decks like that. Okay, next up we have the Fossilized Devilsaur. It is a 8-mana, 8/8, Battle Cry. If you control a beast, gain Taunt. This card is not that good. There is already a Druid card in the game that is a 8-mana 8/8 with Taunt, and you don't need to have a beast down. So, at its best, there's a card that's equal to it, without any restrictions at all. It is neutral, which means other classes that might be able to utilize it better would be able to, use it. But unfortunately, there is no deck that would want an 8/8 Taunt that needs to play beasts. There is a warrior card that is a 3-mana 3/4 Taunt beast. We'll go over that later. But there is no deck that wants this. It's not a beast on its own, so I don't think it's going to be played too much in beast decks like that. And, I mean, it's just an 8-mana 8/8 really. At worst, it's an 8-mana 8/8, and you do not want that. In Arena, you will probably choose this card, not for the Battle Cry, but because it is an 8-mana 8/8. That is a good card to get. Getting that big body out in the field will be something that you want, and I guess adding this to the common card pool is not that bad. I mean, if you really want this, just play Druid. Just play Druid. So, I'm kind of putting this down on the low. It's probably not going to see any play anywhere except for Arena. Sorry, Devilsaur. You're not going anywhere. Next! Gorillabot A3. I guess maybe attack 3? I don't know. It's a 4-mana 3/4 Battle Cry. If you control another mech, discover a mech. Now, this is pretty good. It has the 3-mana stat line, and for 1 extra mana, it's discover a mech. Mechs in this game have a pretty big variation. You can get anything from a Piloted Shredder to a Clockwork Gnome. So, it really is big range, but it is discover, which means you will be able to choose cards from your class or neutral, and it will give you 3 options of a mech. Depending on your class, depends on whether or not this is going to be good, but if you're playing mechs already to begin with, you're probably going to have some pretty decent class mechs. So playing this will hopefully allow you to choose some of those, but there's a ton of neutral mechs, so you'll probably end up hitting one of those, and they're good. They're okay. If you're someone that's suffering from card draw in your mech deck, this could be the card. I know a lot of decks suffer from card draw, and this might be the card that puts them over. to get them there. I know one of the problems that they had with Mech Warrior, which by the way, you really don't want Warbot. It's not good. But their 5-drop, I can't remember what it's called. Pretty good, but it lacked being able to be played. It just the cards that they had to go with it were not good enough. It's okay. There's gonna be some decks that people make from it. I personally don't think it's gonna be revolutionary because it dies to a certain 4-drop. Although this one does draw you a card basically, so I think it's pretty good. Definitely gonna see some. No, not going to see play in Arena. Unless you already have enough mechs that you're going to be able to get this Battlecry off, it's not going to be played too much Arena. Maybe a little bit of constructed play. We'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, it's contested with Piloted Shredder. Sorry for any 4-drop that exists in the game. Piloted Shredder. Okay, I think that's all I got to say about Gorilla Bot A3. Let's go on to the next card. And we got Huge Toad. This little guy, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Okay, so 2 mana, 3/2, Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. It is the Death Rattle counterpart to Flame Juggler. It's okay. I think it's okay. It's definitely the more aggro side of that version. It is a beast. It does have the beast tag. It literally is just a better Bloodfin Raptor. It is a Bloodfin Raptor that has a Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I'm not going to complain. It's better, but whatever. Like, Blizzard's been doing this for a while. They're making cards that are a little bit better than the ones that originally came out. You were never playing Bloodfin Raptor to begin with, so Huge Toad. I think it's good. I think it's okay. I might just cut that out. I was going on a coughing fit. So this will definitely see play in Arena, and I think it's going to be better than Flame Jungler just because of the way its stats are arranged as a 3/2. As a Death Rattle, people can play around it. They can basically clear their board off before it goes and does its Death Rattle. It also can hit the face and basically do nothing. In Constructed, I don't think it's going to see too much play. It would really be struggling against Haunted Creeper and other 2-drops that people would want to be running with it. Yeah, it's an okay card. Definitely see play in Arena because it's body, it's beast, and it has the Death Rattle. Otherwise, not going to see too much play in Constructed, sorry. Maybe some aggro decks where people are just trying to fill in some cheap minions. It'll be whatever. Okay, well, moving on to, let's see. Jeweled Scarab. It's a 2-mana 1/1 beast. Battlecry, discover a 3-cost card. Okay, so this is basically, look at it as a beast, novice, inventor, novice engineer. I can't remember. I think it's Novice Inventor. Anyways, Battlecry, discover a 3-cost card. So this can be a spell. This can be a class spell. There are no class neutrals. Or sorry, spell neutrals. So you're either going to get a minion or a class spell. And I think this is okay. Tempo-wise, you're kind of cutting yourself off on turn 2. You're playing a 1/1 beast. And you're probably going to be falling behind. But in the idea that you're going to be getting a 3-drop, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, it can suck. Like, what if you get I don't know, what's an awful 3-drop? Alarmabot. If you get Alarmabot, I'm sorry. I think you're okay. Arena, in every situation, it's just below par. Once again, for almost all these cards, if this was made like months ago or a year ago, this card would be amazing, but unfortunately it just falls behind in the tempo game that is Hearthstone, and because of that, its 1/1 stat line is probably going to kill it. Discover a 3-cost card. It'd probably be pretty good because getting a 3-cost card immediately after your turn 2 would help, but I don't think it's strong enough. Just because you're going to get that 3-drop down, you should probably try to get that 3-drop on your own and not have to rely on this card. So, unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to hit there because of its 1/1 stat line. No one's running Novice Engineer. No one's going to run this card either. So, sorry, Jeweled Scarab. Unfortunately, you're not going to see much play in Constructed. You're going to see a little bit in Arena, but once again, Arena is also a place where people want to do tempo. So, good luck. Good luck. Now, we got our next card is Murloc Tinyfin. This is adorable. Look at this guy. He is so happy. Look at his toy sword. He wants to go into battle. He wants to go Murgle all over your face. 0 mana 1/1 Murloc. Specifically better than Wisp. Truthfully, I do not think this card will see play. Not that much, at least. There's probably going to be some Murloc archetypes that find use for it. Mostly because these are the two things that I think will be a big bonus. One, you can play Neptulon, you get this card, you can play it down immediately, so it's the 7/7, and you get the 1/1. It can proc the rare card for Murlocs that I can't remember. It's the 1 mana 1/2 that gains +1 attack every single time a Murloc is played. You can play this down immediately with it. It becomes a very good tool for getting more minions on the board if you really need to flood the board. You can get it buffed up with Murloc Tide Raider, I think, or Murloc War Leader. You can buff up your old Merc guy. You can, what is that Shaman card? The Shaman card that draws cards when Murlocs die. This is a very good way. It's cycling your cards. Very inexpensive to get down. You don't have to worry about it, even if you overload. What else goes along with this? The new one, Not Everything is Awesome. That's the... There's two. I'll display it in a second. I can't remember which one. There's one that's Paladins that summon your board, fill them with Murlocs. And then there's another one that is, it gives all your minions +2/+2, 7 mana, reduces the cost for every Murloc. This is basically reducing the cost of that Shaman spell by 1, and this costs 0 mana, so that helps out. That's a good synergy with that card. And I think this, surprisingly, this might be the card that pushes Shaman Murloc into constructed play. Now, with, unfortunately, in Arena, this card is awful. This card is terrible. This card is a wisp. Do not draft this card. You see this, you turn away. You try to focus on what other ever 2 cards you have discovered from Arena. Just saying. Okay. I like this card. It's interesting. It's better than Wisp. Not much else to say. We'll see how this fits into some new deck archetypes. Okay, next card. Tomb Spider. 4 mana 3/3. Discover a Beast. Now, this is, I guess, the counterpart to the Gorilla Bot A3. It does have 1 less health, while in turn not having to have the Beast in play. With this, constructed-wise, I actually think this card is going to be much worse. In Arena, though, this card is pretty good. This card is a 4 mana 3/3. Draw a card. It's very similar to, I'm going to say Novice Engineer. I still can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's Novice Engineer. Novice Engineer, the 4 mana 2/3 draw a card. This one discovers a beast. It's okay. This is okay. And I actually think it's going to be better than drawing a card because the cards that you already have in your deck are random. And because you had to basically discover them when you were doing the Arena draft, with this, you can choose from 3 cards, whichever one fits what you need, you can choose it. Now, I don't know the range of beasts, but I'm going to say it's probably pretty even. Probably closer to the mid-range tier to lower tier of mana cost. Not goodness, mana cost. So in Arena, this is going to be much better than Gorilla Bot. But in Constructed, I don't think it's going to hit anywhere. It's not. It once again contests with the 4-drop that we have already. I don't know how good the Discover mechanic is going to be. We might see this in Beast decks that are lacking card draw. I mean, otherwise, it's going to be a little hard. I think you're going to see some play in Arena, and that's about all. Not much play in Constructed. Too many 4-drops. This could be the 4-drop for Beast decks, but I just don't think it's going to get there. I don't think this card is going to be big enough to get there, unless I'm wrong and Discover is an amazing mechanic and we all go insane. Okay. Those are all the cards for Common. All of them were okay. I don't think any of them are going to really make waves in the meta. Maybe the Murloc Tiny Fin. The rest of them I don't think are going to make too much of a statement. I may be wrong. I'm going to keep my statement here. Anyone who would love to argue with me or against me, I am completely open to that. I'll be reading the comments to see if anyone has anything to say. And thank you all for watching. Spawns out.